Inside the Cave.
Don't go nowhere.
Bonus show.
Treated the way this young woman was.
An arrest in the sexual assault of a Chicago girl broadcast live on social media. Good evening, I'm Jim Williams.
And I'm Mai Martinez. Thank you for joining us. Chicago Police Superintendent Eddie Johnson says the assault, watched by dozens live on Facebook, is the most despicable thing he's seen in a long time.
Today, he announced the arrest and says more are on the way. CBS 2's Sandra Torres is live outside police headquarters. Sandra?
Well, Jim and Mai, the Chicago police commander leading the investigation, says this is the first of several arrests, adding that this has been a very difficult case for everyone involved, including the young victim.
This is just a very traumatic incident.
Chicago Police Commander Brendan Denahan revealing new details in the case of the 15-year-old girl assaulted in a video live streamed on Facebook last month.
Detectives working with Facebook have executed several social media search warrants, and we were able to eventually identify two of these offenders and secure arrest warrants for them.
Police say they arrested one juvenile so far, a 14-year-old who's now officially charged with the crime.
The victim knew one of the offenders. I'm going to say she was lured to the residence.
Detectives are working to identify other suspects. They also say about 40 people watched the Facebook live stream and did not report it to police.
It just disgusts me that people would look at those videos and not pick up the phone and dial 911.
So we have verifiable objective evidence of what occurred to this young lady, but she's just having a very difficult time. And then on top of it, constant social media, like I said, bullying of either making fun of her or what occurred here.
For that reason, authorities relocated the victim and her family to a safe location.
I did speak with the mother this morning.
Community activist Andrew Holmes is in touch with the family.
The victim, as of this moment, is just going through counseling and going through therapy. I mean, this was a torture, not just a sexual assault, it was a torture.
And police say they're not just relying on that Facebook Live video. They have other images, other videos that they are using that were posted to social media that are crucial to the investigation. That is why they're anticipating more arrests in the next few days, including one juvenile and one adult. Reporting live at Chicago Police Headquarters, Sandra Torres, CBS 2 News. Jim, Mai.
Sandra, thank you.
The question of the day.
We're all fathers, daughters, and whether it's sons or daughters, you know, that's just scary, man, you know. And the older my kids get, the scarier I get, the more nervous I get. So all this stuff, when I heard it, I just think this is the question of the day. Social media, I think people are it's too much, man. The Facebook Live thing, we talked about this before. Jay Leno, Jimmy Kimmel, they're not even a live show. Why do people think they need to go live? Like the professionals don't even go live. So there's nothing good that happens when going live. There's nothing good that happens when going live.
Can I jump in here? I have two daughters, a 17-year-old and a 15-year-old, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Like Kat said, this isn't a new issue. This has been something that's been going on for years, and this sexual abuse thing has been going on for years. This is because we're all, pretty much this is a black show. Let me just say this from the black community's perspective. It disappoints me that we're so reactionary instead of being proactive. I think it's sad that we go up and on. Now, just months ago, we complained about the police shooting us and how the white supremacy system doesn't value black lives. So how do we stand here now today expecting justice from a system that doesn't care about us? So now what my plea is to our community is, just like that woman who had got assaulted in the beauty supply store owned by the foreigners, I don't know if they were Korean or Asian or whatever, why is it that we, and when I say we, no disrespect, Kat, we as men.
Oh, no. I'm actually co-signing. I'm going to piggyback that because you're right. I feel like do not ever, as Black people, address sexual issues whatsoever. Our uncle could touch us for 20 years.
Oh, come on. Stop,
Nobody, no big mama ain't gonna tell the police. And it's like, this is an issue.
We have music.
I was told when I was in high school, a stranger, a woman I didn't even know, we were having a conversation and I mentioned that I didn't have some money. And she was like, no girl as pretty as you, as long as you got a pussy, you should have money. And a woman talking to me, like, you're spreading this. You think that's cool to say, but that's the mentality of so many of our aunties, you know. I mean, you can, you know, use your body to get what you want. It's like we are not giving the right messages, and then it makes it very difficult for us to want to prosecute when our children, our daughters, our sons are being affected, because we are turning the blind eye so heavy. And I definitely agree that as a people, let's start the conversation. Let's stop telling our kids to just tell them, don't let nobody touch you. No, let's talk about what abuse is. Let's talk about what's okay and what's not okay. Let's talk about what touches are good and what's not. I mean, these are rudimentary ideas that for some reason we are so behind on. And so, yes, as a people, we have a big problem with confronting that dude that we know is a pimp. As a teenage girl, every teenage girl met that older guy.
That R. Kelly. That R. Kelly figure.
We knew what he was on. We knew what he wanted us to do. And some of us just said no. But some of us said yes. And some of us said no and told somebody. And some of us said yes and told somebody. I mean, we are not really talking. That's really why I wanted to know what you guys felt about it. Because it has to be, to me, a male-centered conversation at this point. When another man tells a man, hey, I know you ain't got this chick here. She only 17, like she only 16. When you say that to somebody, that's a message to send. Nowadays, though, everything is so casual. And like you say, we're so desensitized with this live. Everything is live. Everything is, oh, this is me. This who I am. It's like, no, that's not who you're going to be in 30 days. Like, you have to realize that in the moment, you know, there are parts of that moment that are supposed to just be a part of that moment. You don't have to show us. It's just a moment. You're supposed to live it.
Let me jump back in real quick. Let me finish my thought. Where I was going is the men of the community. It is our responsibility to make sure that our daughters, that our mothers, that our wives, that our girlfriends, that our aunts are safe. Our grandmothers are safe. We can't keep looking for a system to protect us. We have to protect ourselves. I know one thing, yes, if something happens in my household, I'm calling the police, absolutely. My house got broke into, I called the police. But guess what? They made the mistake and they stole the Mac. And you know, everybody on here probably has a Mac. I know 3 of us do. And guess what you can do? You can find it. And guess what me and my wife did? We rolled up on that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because we don't play that. We got to protect. Stop trying to look for justice in a system that does not care about you. Do you still go through the process? Absolutely. But stop looking for someone to find these girls and stop letting the girls disappear. Why is there so many latchkey kids? Why aren't we picking our daughters up and dropping them off? Why aren't we making sure that they're safe? You got people who will drop somebody off and pull off. You don't know where that kid went. Why is there young mothers raising up young daughters to be like they were raised? Oh, well, I was touched. She got to find her own way. That's bullshit, man.
But let's also identify the boys. Let's also talk to our sons. If a girl says no, don't do it. I don't understand, like, the third boy in the gang rape. Like, if you're raping somebody, how are you number 3 or number 4? Like, how is your son? You know, going like, I don't get the mentality. And if we don't tell our sons, like, that's not okay. And if you have a friend, I mean, let's be real. Tell your son, don't let your uncle touch him. Like, you're right. Yeah, you're right. We have to talk to our boys. We have to talk. And as you said, the police are only doing the after effect. But we have to open our eyes. We have to be more aware. Let's start asking these kids, where you going? Let's start being more aware, because it is very easy now with the internet. These dudes can sweet talk and find these girls, and these are young ladies who, some of them are coming from, loving homes, but some of them are coming from places that aren't very kind to them.
How do they get enough time to even get off of gang rape? Who's watching these damn kids?
Yeah, when the kids get a certain age, ain't nobody watching no kids, man.
See,
these kids coming from home. What these kids, the type of homes they coming from, no Roland. We already know that.
I'm gonna add one thing to that. Parents aren't being held accountable, because a lot of parents' mindset is let them learn the hard way. I'll talk to them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I done threw my hands up. So that's one problem that need to be addressed. And another thing on the social media thing, CB, is so much of what you see on social media now is staged, so much bullshit till people watch things, and we are so desensitized. By the time you realize this may be real, it could be too late.
Yeah, that's right.
So it's so many layers to this.
That is true.
Yep.
Kat, I'm gonna give you the final word on this.
I was gonna say, coming from what's said, because this is what I was thinking too. Them kids, a lot of the kids, especially in the inner city, they don't have nobody to watch them. They go to school, if they go to school. Then they Roland was saying they latchkey kids. They taking care of themselves. Like Kat was saying, that they said it may have been gang initiation. That's a lot of them. I'm pretty sure them boys or whatever maybe have been in a gang or something. It's like there's no what I'm looking for. There's no supervision or accountability.
Yeah.
So once they go home, it's either grandma there, or mama there.
But then when they come up missing, you see them on the news crying and snotting.
Talking about how good of a kid they were.
Yeah, that's the first line out their mouth, ain't it?
Yep.
Can you just imagine where they got the idea that made sense to do to somebody? That's the way you initiate somebody, or that's the way you treat another person? Where they would even get an idea like that?
Yeah. I gotta move on. Kat, I'm gonna give you the final word on this on behalf of our listener Michelle, who requested you, and then I'm gonna move on to the next segment.
Michelle, you are very right. This is an issue that we should address. We have addressed it, and we should continue to address it personally in our homes and in our communities. So every time you get an opportunity, Michelle, as we will bring it up, and we will try to find a way to start to prevent this type of things from happening to our children.
All right, that was the question of the day on Inside the Cave. Email us insidethecavepodcast@gmail.com. Emails, complaints, question of the day, however you feel about us.
Thought-provoking ignorance with special guests and cave crushers. Inside the Cave.